real life always comes first. And we're not social workers, we're not counselors, but if you need us to be in here, we'll go into a private chat and whatever you want to talk about sticks with us, and that's personal. We know people go through stuff, everybody goes through stuff, and that's just the community that we've grown. Everybody knows that your personal business, like, you're gonna have a huge clash out with somebody on the group. You can really say some really bad stuff in the Discord, and you can apologize for it, and it still won't change, what we think of you and that bond that we've grown.
Well, talking about keeping it real in terms of your ops there, that's the other side of the coin in terms of friendships, developing real relationships. It could be digital. It's kind of virtual to an extent, but these are real people on the other sides of those mics. So definitely sounds like you guys are taking that seriously and investing in your people. And it's another important part of, not only just having a good time, but actually bringing out the best in them so that when you guys do have big plans and you want something to go smoothly, all the pieces are in the right places, in the right, person's hands there. So it makes a big difference.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So, I mean, you mentioned the fireside chats. I love that. It's like I remember the cup fires in Armor 3. I can't remember the last time I saw one of the Armor Forger fires, but either way, they're not quite real, but good enough on a dark evening.
It's usually when they're going down.
Armor.
Yeah. What was that?
Great.
Hero, you're cutting out really bad.
The armory campfires are great.
Are they? I remember.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been I've got, like, I swear, maybe like 25, 30 hours in the game as opposed to thousands and thousands of Armor 3. I've got a lot of learning to do. It's really exploding. I got to get in there, but I don't think I've seen a fire since, like, since the game came out. So I got to get on that. But do you guys play any other games together? I mean, it's like I don't want to, like, poke and prod too much, but you guys are talking about just real life. I mean, what kind of topics do you cover when you're just shooting the shit or unwinding after an op?
Yeah, some of our guys do like to go play other games together. We had a group of guys that went and played Phantasmo, and we got a group of guys that like to play some other tactical shooters like Ready or Not and things like that. Battlefield 6 coming out, guys are starting to get it and wanting to play together. But also the campfire talks, man, they're great. Sometimes we talk about issues in the Discord we're having, or the community, Sometimes we're just talking about, what happened yesterday in my life, or what, if I seen a cool movie or something. Hey, I seen this movie. Y'all seen it? It's all just casual talk.
Not to go up past the PG-13, but man, we talk a lot of shit, and that keeps the morale up really high. Everybody likes to just get at it with each other, and then just keep going on about the training or whatever it is that we're doing. We all come in here and talk shit and talk about our day and talk some more shit and go shoot some stuff, and it's just, I don't know. The group of guys we got in here are really good. We all just bond really well. We all understand each other's lingo, and we all kind of blurted out our backgrounds and what we're about, and it's not a lot of hard feelings at all. And usually ones that do take things really personal and end up staying too long, and that's okay. We really try to focus our we try to really focus quality over quantity. We could probably have 500 members, in the Discord, but we choose not to. We choose to keep, who's in our unit and active in our unit. We do have some SOPs that, keep that in line. But yeah, no, just the morale is great. The guys are great. And there's campfires. Hero talked about them campfires. I've never been to one, but maybe I might have to.
I will say also, we have, over the history of Spartan Team 6, have moved away from younger members. We currently say 18 plus. Just for maturity's sake, we have had issues with some of our younger guys, just taking things seriously enough. And our older guys don't like that, so I think we stay 18 plus so we don't have to deal with the immaturity as much.
Yeah,
Definitely had a
I
lot of trial and errors. Me, not both of us, never running a Milsim. The guy that I started this with, we've never ran a Milsim. So it's been a lot of trial and errors, a lot of opinions, a lot of people not liking other people's opinions. But you know, we haven't given up on the unit. We haven't given up on anything. We understand sometimes this isn't for people. Sometimes people don't like decisions that are being made. But that's just it. And we're gonna keep going on. And I tell Hero this all the time. And if it ends with just him and I, it ends with just him and I, and that's the end of it. And we'll just keep playing together. You know, we're here to have fun, like you mentioned. And we could still have some pretty cool ops, just him and I, or I know there's some other solid guys that aren't going anywhere. So, it's just it is what it is. But
sure.
it's going really
I
good.
mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're never going to get 100% of the approval or 100% approval all the time. 100% of everybody like agreeing with you, and that's just it's the nature of
Growing
of
pains, right?
yeah. I mean, it's the nature of society. It's definitely the nature of the internet, and you're absolutely right. As you grow and develop, there are going to be those kind of stretches and strains and groans among some of the membership. But with your standards and your SOPs, I mean, you've got a lid on it. So you're right. Some people aren't going to like it, and they're gonna vote with their feet. But having stability, having those long-term members, that's another side. You can't. It's like I wish I could say that there's no difference in ages, in the Armorverse, but I know better, and I think a lot of us would say the same thing. There is a difference, so you've got to maintain that that standard somewhere to get the effect and the dedication and like you said, the maturity necessary to operate at this level. It may be a
That's the
game, but
thing.
it depends. I mean that makes. I mean it's those differences make it they definitely depend in operations.
I know. These younger guys are, um,
Very
as
gung
far as
ho.
game wise go, yeah. And as
Hmm.
far as game wise go, they're great. Their hand-eye coordination super fast. They're
Yeah, they
young
got the
guys,
energy.
but yep. But when it comes to being able to sit still and listen and actually follow rules consistently, um,
Hmm.
they're just not there yet,
Yep, a
and
lot of
that's
them not.
okay.
Yep, give them time.
We do our best to
Yeah,
try to mold them as best we can. Like I said, have those one-on-one conversations. Tell them that it's nothing personal. This is just what we see. We always try to have a follow-up with certain individuals when we see not a lack in performance, but just see something that I know the whole group probably seen didn't like it. But that mainly comes with the younger crowd. I think that's another reason why we kind of pushed away from that younger crowd as well. Just a lot of
Yep.
negativity. More guys around 20 plus just seem to be a lot more mature and understanding and get it.
Yeah, that's military age. it,
Yeah.
it definitely makes a difference. It's like
Yeah.
say what you will, but that's real life for you. So, I mean, that's a pretty big challenge in terms of running a unit, and particularly when you're, during the early days when you're just getting your feet in the ground. What are some of the other challenges you faced? How did you guys, overcome those, when they pop up in front of you?
Kind of just roll with it. See, I love stirring the pot a little bit. So when those challenges start to come in, I try to just see the real meaning behind that challenge. So if it's getting in the staff chat and trying to figure out what this person's motive is, or even if it's just in a GM standpoint, you'll see me in some of my streams like, man, why are they doing this? And I'll try to figure out even as a GM why are they doing this, and then I don't even figure it out till later on. So there's challenges overall in all aspects, if it's in the Discord or if it's even in the game itself.
but how we overcome at least those GM standpoint things is part of the Q&A session that we have, the discussion we have after the op. Um, we can point out, hey, we didn't like this, or he could point out, hey, why didn't you guys do this? And we can explain why we did it, what our thought process is, and it'll help him plan for the next operation better.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's like, I hate to use the cliche 4D chess, but you're definitely hitting things from different angles, different dimensions there. Not just like, dealing with one problem, one person, as it were, like a personnel issue, but also you're thinking, the larger scope, tactically, operationally, from that GM perspective, the old Zeus, the Armor 3 buffs out there. That's a lot of thinking, dealing with people, dealing with tactical situations, bouncing all together, um, everything to like, bring out the best and have a good week. There's a lot of work that has to go into that, I'm sure. So, kudos to pulling it off. The fact that you guys are up and running, that you are keeping it steady as you move forward. I mean, we got you here on the podcast. Hopefully, that'll get you a little bit wider exposure. I mean, you're getting good views on the website. With this, again, we'll have those links down to your social media so guys can take a look for themselves. But it sounds like quite an evolution. So, I mean, in terms of, where you started as a unit and where you have progressed to at this point, what lessons you've learned away? Like, what's the biggest things that's changed in your mind, and what have you taken away from that experience?
It's a great question.
I
Yeah,
would
you want to go
say,
first?
yeah, I would say one of the biggest things we learned, starting out as a chill sim, is what we like to call it. We
Yep.
were super laid back. We still wanted to do the organization of a Milsim, didn't want it to be as serious. Um, we've learned that there's a big give and take in that, because the more chill we are, the less organized the team ended up being. It wasn't looking clean like we wanted it to. Um, and so we did start going. We started leaning more towards the mill sim, and people started enjoying it more. Putting more rules in, getting an established SOP, so everybody looked the same. Just things to become more mill sim and less chill sim. We've learned works better for
Gotcha.
everybody.
Hmm.
Pardon?
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think you said it perfectly.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's, I don't want to say it's a dramatic evolution because, like I said, you guys have maintained that balance along the way. So, you don't have,
Exactly.
senior NCOs or whoever, on the line yelling at people and making you or trying to simulate misery, in a digital
Right.
environment. Like, because I've seen people do that. It's like, some of those Ranger guys. And just saying, no, not pointing any fingers, but anyway, in all seriousness, no, I mean that's the thing. You got to have the right people, right leadership, the right people who are kind of invested, vested, however you want to look at it, and the right environment for those guys coming in who are looking for that kind of experience. So I hope it goes well. I mean, that's the thing. With just the kind of future being what it is, and all the talk and the hubbub and all the kind of eyes on. So many videos online, from Reforger and just Milsim in general. The genre has really exploded like never before in history. So it really is a great opportunity for everybody, whether you're leading, whether you're on the ground with a rifle, whatever you want to do. In this community, there really is something for everybody. So it's all about finding those connections and getting the right people and the right units.
Definitely.
So, how do you interact with the greater Milsim community at large? I mean, you got your Discord out there. You're actively recruiting. You got a social media presence. What else do you have going on beyond that? And do you have regular comms with other units out there in the Armor Forger sphere?
As far as other things kind of going on, I do a lot of modding myself. Really
Ah,
gone into that. That Nighthawk that just came out, I made. I'm in the
hmm,
process of making a Husky right now. That Max Pro that just got released. Still a work in progress though.
ah,
A couple maps, like about 3 maps. So as far as like
Iran.
Iran, the Kuwait map that's coming out, and then I'm working
sweet.
on an oil rig map. So I wouldn't say I'm really conversing with other units that much. I'm conversing personally more with other modders to try to get
Mm.
out more mods that Arma lacks. But in the process of meeting those other modders, there are also other guys from other units. You know, we're all here doing it, you know, to help the community look cooler, have cooler ops. And again, we all come from Milsim groups for our groups. So that's just how I've been networking, is really more with other modders. Um, but yeah, that's just what I kind of got going on.
I will say that we are going to participate later this year in a multi-unit operation.
It's your guys' operation, actually.
Yeah.
Ah,
Um,
great.
so we're hoping that that goes well, and that we can continue to do those kind of operations, and just get our name out there with these other big organizations, and
That's the goal.
become a name for ourselves in the community.
Yeah, the
Sure.
ultimate goal, I would say, for Spartan team is what my focus is on, is getting a multi-unit atmosphere on one map. I love moving parts, especially as a GM. It's a lot to handle, but if I can have Marines on one side of Takistan and my guys waiting on base, and Army foot patrol somewhere else, and all these moving parts, birds in and out, the fixed wings, because I'm making some fixed wings, flying around, like that's the environment I want to see Armor Reforger get to, is all these units. I know it's hard for the servers, but all of these units and all of these moving parts moving in a professional manner and not in like a pub manner, you know, where it's just kind of people just kind of floating around doing what they want to do. People actually having real objectives with real leaders, real breachers, real players, hitting it hard and having fun.
Absolutely, and that's what what you're really pushing the servers, pushing the maps, pushing the GMs to the limit, pushing the players to the limit for that matter. That's what makes the game most exciting for me. And I mean, definitely, it's like you got these different units, and they've got their different experiences and backgrounds and all that. But you know, even so, here in the Armorverse, like when you get them on 'em all on one map together, focusing on one objective, one series of objectives, that is realism. That is Milsim in its finest. And yeah, it's like, yeah, the servers will strain, but that's what we were all built for, I think. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, and it
yeah,
when it all comes together, man, it is so awesome, such a badass thing to experience,
it
especially if
is.
you're into it. But even for the new guys, when they get into a real kind of pitch battle with hundreds of different operators in one respect or another operating the same battle space, it is absolutely incredible. So definitely. And I mean, I will say, with Armor Forger, a lot of the unit leaders and the guys, kind of the GMs and the guys kind of doing logistics and operations on the back end, uh, they are very into modding. I'm really impressed how many people are getting into modding and really trying to get Forger up to speed. Get it to that
Yep.
level that we're at with Armor 3. Because, and I've said it here to Armor 3 unit leaders before in past podcasts. It took years for us to get Ace and all the mods that we really have come to depend on in Arma 3. And I was expecting to take it like an equal time for Reforger, but you guys are on it, and you're working together, collaborating with one another, and debugging and testing and everything. So it's really
Especially with that
incredible
1.6
how.
that just came out.
Yeah, so yeah, it's one thing after another, and people are up on it, and they're keeping it going and working, past the kinks. And it's like every time there's something new that comes out, and a new just perspective that has been opened up to the community. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
He mentioned some of the big things, but he didn't mention some of the small, like, quality of life things. He's also made a spotter scope, that's on a
Mm,
tripod that you can
mm.
use.
Not out
Um,
yet. Not out yet.
yeah, but we're
Yeah, I was
testing
gonna
it on our
say, yeah,
servers.
we'll be patiently waiting, but that's
Yep.
great. I was gonna say, it makes a difference in long range shooting. Spotting
Yeah.
scopes make a big difference. So.
Um, and there's a couple other little ones, but some quality of life stuff that we just don't have, is getting made.
With this update's gonna bring out a lot more like cooler stuff. I know with the Project Realism unit or development group I'm in, you know, they're the ones that are making all the fixed wings. I know we have a guy trying to make our own RHS system. Hopefully not 6 gigs worth, 6.7 to be exact. And we're really focusing on laser guided stuff as well, to try to get those JTACs on ground with their own, we'll say a tablet, whatever it is, laser designated, marking system, and those guys in the sky can just drop those missiles, and as long as it's pointed, it's going. So there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff to come out. I really want to see Reforger, get up to speed at the Arma 3, and I could just tell you from the guys I know, we're working nonstop. If I'm not messing with the stuff in my unit, I'm literally messing with the mods to try to get everything up to speed.
Good stuff.
That's another thing, trying to modernize a lot too, I think, with these mods. Because there's just not a lot of modernization in as of right now. Like he's saying, maybe some drones dropping in bombs that can be controlled via tablets, things like that. Just don't really have a whole lot of that. So just trying to catch up to the world, I guess, the military world in general.
Yeah. There's a lot of gaps to be filled between what is it, 1989 and 2020.
Yep.
Yeah, right.
It is what it is, that curve of technology. So, you guys got a lot going on. I mean, behind the scenes, like on the servers, a lot to be said. So we're gonna have eyes on you, kind of watching, and I mean, obviously we'll be in comms here at Milsim Units, checking up on how you're developing, how we can help you as a kind of a medium to bring people together in the community. But what about the future of Spartan Team 6? Let's say, we're fast forwarding to shit, it's November already. I can't believe it. So we're fast forwarding to fall 2026. Where do you want to see the unit in the next year?
Go ahead, Hero.
Yep. So as of right this moment, we generally run 2 squads of around 6 members. So plus we have our air division that runs about 3 people. By next year, we're really hoping to be able to fill out. I say they're squads. They're fire teams. We have 2 fire teams. I would like to fill out 2 full squads of 4 fire teams, and have, be able to do what Spartan wants to do, where we've got 1 squad over on one side of the map doing something, the second squad over here doing something, and our air jumping between both sides, trying to help from both angles. Having enough people to do that.
We've definitely have adjusted how we do things because of this op that's coming up. We really just want to test ourselves and test our limits, and this op has really brought a lot of motivation to the team as well to want to just overly perform come that day. So with the op that you and the 183rd are hosting is really put some pep in my guys rear end to get going and start working more as a unit, as a team. This is exciting and big for everybody, especially for these guys. So we're trying to get out there, show what Spartan Team 6 has to offer, and we're hoping that might bring some people in. We're hoping that the mods bring some people in. Staying in contact with other people, networking is huge. Something that I really think of becoming a leader, but it's definitely a thing on here. But
yeah,
I don't know. We're definitely hoping to fulfill two more teams. Start working on an EU team. We do have some EU players. We do have some Australian and UK players. So we were trying to help them out a little bit by maybe trying to get at least a 6-man squad for that going. Fire team for them. But yeah, I don't know. More the merrier. More the merrier, but more more responsibility when more comes in.
Yeah, gotcha. Bigger, more refined, more powerful. So definitely, serious goals to aim for.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I want our guys to have a Milsim unit that they're proud of. Somebody that's like, yeah, I am on Spartan Team 6.
Yeah.
100%.
I gotcha. Absolutely. So what about Milsim gaming overall. We talked about the future with Arma 4 and all that jazz. Still a couple of years out, so there's still a lot of discussion. Other titles that are in the works. Just like I said, all that kind of chatter online in the forums and on the discords for that matter. So as leaders, as Milsim gamers, what do you think we're going to see in the future of Milsim gaming? What do you really think that we need to see? Like, what you talked about, some of what your unit hopes to offer. What do you want to see down the road? We talked about, Spartan Team 6 in a year. What about, 2, 3 years down the road with the Milsim community in general? Like, it's like what's on your wish list as leaders here in the mix?
I would
Good
say,
question.
yeah,
It's a big one. Yeah, it's a loaded question at that. So,
for me, it would come back to just more, less toxicness, less egos. I really,
hmm, hmm,
really want the egos to go away. We all are great players. We all want the same thing. So why the egos? I wish it would go away because that would make more forming of other units so much more funner for all. Um, I feel that is this bottleneck that we have within our community. That if we could just oversee those obstacles, hey, I can do this, my team's better, or whatever the case may be, we can start coming together in making these bigger, ops happen. But that's what I hope to see for
The
the future, and
community.
that's the community. Not saying the community. The community's not that bad. I've been in a lot worse. I've played Apex, okay, and Rust. We all know how toxic Rust can be. Um, I just see the potential of this community and what it has to offer. Um, and I think that's going back to your first question. I think it's your first question. Where Spartan team came about. It came to be a chill sim because the uptight Milsims were too uptight, and I think we've found that perfect blend of being uptight but not being uptight. You don't got to write up no form, but hey, inform us. It's just as simple as just getting with your boss. I'm not saying what we're doing is right, but what I feel we're doing is right, and I wish other milsims would go that route because there's a balance between real life and there's a balance between gaming life. And at the end of the day, this is just a game, and we all want to emulate, simulate the milsim experience, but it's just a game, and I don't know how other people conduct as far as their realism and immersiveness, but the milsim units I've been in, I just can't see myself writing a whole report of why I'm going to be off for a week. And I think
hmm.
those are just the small traits that should just go away at that point. Just join the service and be on your merry way.
Fair points. I mean, definitely. Yeah, there is that line, and some people do push it. But yeah, I mean, you're just keeping it real, and again, trying to bring out the best. So some serious points there, and I mean, something that I think we can all relate to in terms of toxicity or just poor community standards in some aspects. And that, I mean, that's something that we, at Milsim units anyway, that's something we take very seriously on our platforms. I'm one of the moderators there, so I definitely, keep up on all the comms to make sure that, people are living up to the standards and, keeping their end up of the deal. So definitely something to be learned there and to be lived as well by everybody. It is an investment to make, even when you gotta hold your tongue. I mean, that's part of being disciplined is know when to talk and when not to. So uh, here's a lesson a lesson learned, or at
Would
least
like
should be
to
for a
kind
lot
of
of people.
break off
Mhm.
on that.
Yeah.
We take a lot of pride with our discipline. Um, we really try to when we get onto these guys for whatever. We don't like to do it, but it happens. And when it does, we try to sit down and have a one-on-one conversation with them, and really try to not only build their abilities in game, but also uh, outside of game in the real life, in the real world. We're hoping they can take some of the things they learn with us and apply them.
Hmm.
Which we think it's definitely have happened. we've like I said, when those people come to us with one-on-one talks, or when people want to talk to me and Hero about certain things, we could tell that the advice we gave them they've taken, or they at least heard us out or tried it, whatever that case may be. So
Yeah, I mean that's leadership, and you were talking about you guys aren't counselors or whatever before, when you guys are just chatting or kind of chilling out together. But it makes a difference. It's part of a sign that you guys do have community, and you are invest in one another to one degree or another. So there's something to be said about that, and that's something else that again that other people, other units can learn from. So good stuff.
Another
yeah.
thing with just to add on with the quality over quantity thing. We all know each other. There's not a member in here that doesn't know who all the other members are.
Hmm.
Like I know with some of the bigger groups, I didn't know like almost anybody except for the guys in my unit. Here everybody talks, everybody works together. It just helps with that community feel as well.
Yeah, I've definitely heard comments of, like, to me, I'm just an everyday person, father and a gamer and husband, but to hear the guys like, oh my, this is cool. Spartan Actual is actually sitting here with us. It's like, I'm just another dude, my guy. Just another dude that wanted to Milsim and get a group of guys together and have some fun. But from the community standpoint, it's a big deal. And actually, earlier in the stage, Hero had to point that out. Like, hey, man, I know you don't see yourself as a leader, but other people do. And sometimes when you do things, it could kind of come off, not terrifying, but, nerve-wracking or whatever the case may be. Maybe it is terrifying. When I say, yeah, because I am a leader, and to me, I'm just an everyday person, but to them, I'm just viewed differently. And I think that's the really hard balance, too, is still to stay like one of the guys, but also still have to be firm on SOPs and how we operate and do certain things. But
Yep.
it's still really cool to hear that that they appreciate that I'm there. Following up with Hero's comment of when he was part of a unit, nobody recognized him and he didn't really know anybody else other than the guys he plays with.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, leadership, it's its own ball of wax, and it can be great when it's utilized, and when you are using it to using your leadership that is to again to form, to shape and improve, and bring out the best in your guys under you. They'll never forget it. So good stuff. I mean, really great perspectives here, and a good view into what it takes for a unit to tick, inside and out.
Most definitely.
So, with your experience, your all your time going back through all these different games, different platforms over the years. What is it about Milsim that keeps you going back? Like, what's your favorite aspect? I mean, it's like that's the thing. Is there one thing, or it just like what is it that keeps you into it?
For me,
That's another thing we
go
talked
ahead.
about beforehand.
Hmm.
I think we kind of were thinking, and we both really enjoy just seeing these guys grow. Seeing them mess up in an op, and we tell them, we point it out to them, and just see them getting on the game and working on it by themselves. It's amazing to see these guys grow under our direction. And Spartan, I'll let him go into detail about it, but he really likes seeing his operations as a GM and how they play out.
Definitely. Seeing the vision come to life for me is the fun part that keeps me going. And then even if it's a good or a bad op, seeing the guys, arrive back at base or whatever, even when that one mission happened where they went down the wrong road and got nuked on their own mistake. That was one they'll never forget. And that was months ago. And those guys still talk about that op. It was, and to me as a GM and as a leader, that's what I'm here for, is to make memories with people and have them remember awesome things. And from my brain, something, a story I might have come up with, or a thought of, going down a wrong road. Well, here, I'm going to play some IEDs. And then they'll always remember that up. And me being an older person, thinking back when I was younger, when things happen, I'll never forget those scenarios. So having some guys that are in their younger 20s or maybe 17, 18, they're always going to remember that, and it just comes around to that nostalgia of just video gaming, and if it's any game or if it is Milsims. But for me, for Milsims, it's that realistic aspect. Unfortunately, I was never able to serve. Still trying to get in. It's always been a struggle for me. So this is the only way that really keeps me, sane, because I want to, serve my country, and there's always things that are stopping me, unfortunately.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's what keeps me driven.
Yeah, we try to our best of our abilities to honor those guys, in any way that we can, whether it's being as realistic as real life as
Coffins.
possible. Yeah,
Oof. Yeah. Hey,
um,
it is what it is, isn't it?
yeah,
But yeah, some great perspectives there, different angles of attack on that question there. But yeah, some really great points that each of you brought out. For others to consider, if they're thinking about getting into it, if they're looking for a unit, if they've just bought Reforger, or they're not sure, they're going to be waiting for a little bit lower sale price. Who knows? But something to consider, for everybody really, new to the community or long-term mill simmers. So great perspectives again.
I would give them, these new guys, the advice of know what you want when you're going in. Know if you want like a very strict Milsim unit, or if you want, something less strict, something more loose and free, let you do what you want to do. Because if you don't and you join one that's real hardcore, you're just not going to have a good time. It may ruin your whole experience
seriously,
for Milsim. So just know what you want going in and do your research. Milsimunits.com. These guys do a great job, facilitating all these different organizations. They have a giant list of people. You could just go through it any time, click on them, and just start seeing what they're about. So yeah, just make sure you do your research before you jump in anything.
Yeah, words of wisdom, and I appreciate that as well. I mean, that's what we're all about. Again, bringing people together so they can have a good time. But that's the thing; it isn't a one size fits all, kind of game or kind of genre by any stretch. There are I mean, it's like, you throw a dart. I mean, that's the thing. You join a random unit, you might as well just throw a dart, because you never know where you're going to land with how many people,
Exactly.
how many different units, and it's like time frames, and it just all kinds. The differences are mind-boggling. You really have to see for yourself. So definitely, we're going to do everything we can do, and I hope that the right people get with you, and you find the right people. It goes both ways. So that way you can fulfill your vision, but also give people what they're looking for on the other side, who are just kind of getting their feet into the water here. Because I mean, it's exploding. It's going to get crazy here, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Just glad that we're here when we're here now. So when Arma 4 does come out, we're already established somewhat.
Yeah. Yeah, you're invested as well with your modding.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I mean, you're that makes you when you're publishing successful mods, and people are benefiting from them and having a good time, and a more immersive experience. I mean, you're worth your weight in gold. So kudos. I hope that goes well and you keep it going into the future.
Yeah, thanks, man. You too.
Absolutely. So, I mean, Spartan, you've got all this GM experience. You guys have a lot of experience in game, across platforms going back, like I mentioned. If you were going to design your dream op, it could be, just for Spartans, it could be a joint op, however you want to do it. What would that dream op look like? What would the experience be for your players on the field, for the new guy coming into the unit?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, let's say,
Dream
I
op,
mean,
Martin,
whether
what
you're
we were talking
GMing,
about earlier.
yeah,
No,
it's like, what's
just
your dream op?
oh, my dream
Absolutely.
op.
It's like, yeah, it's like,
Oh,
you talked about
yeah,
some of the stuff you've done. What haven't you done that you want to see on screen?
exactly what's going to be happening in December with you guys.
Ah, okay.
Oh, yeah, that's my dream op. I can't wait for it. Even if
Gotcha.
it
All right.
even if it's not even like I would say in-game organized, having all these other different units trying to be organized, I still can't wait to see it. I can't wait to just be walking on the field and helicopters are taking off and Humvees are moving around and everybody's yelling at each other, whatever the case may be. That's my dream
Oh
op.
no,
Straight
there will be
fuckery.
plenty of that. Absolutely, plenty of that, and then some. I guarantee it. Definitely, and we hopefully I'll be there. I'm looking forward to streaming. As
Oh,
long as
sweet.
I can. Yeah, hopefully we'll see who's going to be doing what on what channels, but we're definitely looking to get some more media up and get more exposure out, so people can see this real time and catch all the fireworks as they come.
Yeah, we've been trying to promote it, let everybody know.
That's great. Yeah, looking forward to it. It'll be here before you know it, guys. Time flies, as they say.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, we've started training for it. We've actually got our we've made a what we're calling Gold Squad right now. We're trying to get our our best guys together, and really hit training hard and come out and show out what we're really about.
Outstanding. Looking forward to it. So, let's say, guys can get eyes on that, they just joined the unit or they're catching one of your streams or, one of our showcases coming up here. And like, what is it that you would want to showcase about the unit? It's like, if you could like highlight one thing about Spartans, what would it be?
I would like to showcase. We've gone over this a little bit, but really showcase how we can all come to get together and shoot the shit, but also really ready up, really focus, really play our parts, be a pro. I think that's really the best answer for that.
Solid.
Hero, you want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I really like when we in game, you do something wrong in game in the mission. Maybe you're not watching the rear like you were supposed to, and your squad lead gets onto you. You may get heated at the moment. He may get heated at the moment. Whatever. After the operation's over, none of that matters. We're all friends. Can just bullshit all we want to, and nobody takes offense to it.
All right. I'm hearing a recurrent theme here, high standards, high expectations of performance, but at the same time, not being overbearing, not being a dick, just because it's what you see in the movies, kind of thing there. So, a very, very solid approach throughout, and just about all the aspects that you've described about the unit and your approach to leadership and, your history, what you got going on now, what you're looking forward to. It's just, I keep seeing the same thing here about having a good time together as friends. But when the rounds start cracking overhead, you guys know what to do and where you need to be.
Oh yeah, best part.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, hell yeah. So, a lot of great stuff that we've covered here. I've got some more, kind of. I don't. Yeah, they're humorous. I call them more, kind of fun questions. But you mentioned earlier something about somebody getting accidentally nuked, and it happens. Arma is a very unforgiving kind of game. It happens every day. But I got to ask, what about traditions or kind of unique rituals for Spartan's Team 6? I mean, is there anything, talking about recurring themes here? Is there any kind of traditions that stand out in your mind among your men?
So we hold out. We hold two. One is for if we do. A lot of time when we get one person in, they'll bring some buddies in. They'll come out, hang out. A lot of times, sometimes we do have some that have stayed. Others that want to move on to the next thing, or I know we have this one group that came in that were really heavy in Arma 3, and they were kind of just testing out Reforger. And him and his brother got a promotion or whatever in one of the Arma 3 units, and we held out like a shoot off. So at the end of the op, we kind of announced that these guys were leaving. We appreciate everything that they taught us, all the training they did with us. And we kind of just finished it off with a huge shootout. And it was a lot of fun. Everybody laughed. Everybody had a good time. It wasn't serious. and we've flipped that. We've done that with somebody else. So I would say that would be one tradition. And then another thing that we kind of do after every op is a pro and a con. One pro, one con, and it's a place where people can vent and be straightforward. If it's on our end or if it's one of their own teammates, where they can just be, hey man, you messed up on this, and a lot of time, majority of the time, everybody takes up ownership, and that's huge that we see people just converse. We try to keep it quick for people that are on Australia or whatever, so we just try to keep that one pro, one con after everybody's done as one that's just open for conversation. We'll go back and watch the stream, laugh, go over where they failed, go over where they were strong. And that is something we do every Tuesday after every op, is go over one pro, one con, and then overall team discussion. Openly.
And generally a highlight, Spartan will just throw up a stream showing his recording from the thing and just point out highlights of the night, whether they're good highlights or bad. They get pointed out, and it's just a fun thing to go back and see what was happening in the op from an outside perspective.
It's fun to see their reactions. Oh, I remember that. Or, oh, I thought I was looking this way, but then this happened, and blah. It's again comes back down to they're going to remember it. It was a fun time. It was a bad time, whatever. Even though it's a game, we're all, simulating military simulations, and, they're going to remember that. And they might even take it in their real life. Not saying, there's anything really crazy about real life, but decision making, or if they're a leader, we throw them in a squad lead position or anything.
Yeah, definitely. Like thinking on your feet, having to make decisions, having to take care of people under you on the fly. It's definitely, it is a game, but with that simulation nature and the real life kind of background in military operations, but tactically and beyond. I mean, there is a lot to be learned. So definitely. It sounds like you've, just having a great memorable op. That's the biggest tradition of all that you could have. I'd say. It sounds like you guys got some things that keep what you got going fresh in your people's minds here.
Oh yeah, fun time.
I'd like to add on to the video thing. We've also found it to be very useful in the terms of we've had people complain in the op that somebody wasn't doing this or that was doing this or something, and right then and there we can pull it up on stream and show what actually happened.
I love
instant replay.
Oh, that's the best part, man. Oh man, you just threw guys there. No, actually I didn't. That's the best part.
Murphy's Law of Combat. Yeah, you need that footage these days, because they'll take your record over that shit.
Oh yeah.
In all seriousness. So let's say that we're in Hollywood, Spartan Team 6. They're going on the big screen. They need some actors to rep them. To tell their story to the rest of the world. They don't know what you guys have been through, what you've accomplished, where you're going. So let's say we got a military movie, a TV show, a miniseries, could be anything. Is there any title that you think best captures the spirit, what you got going in Spartans?
Well, for me, 100% 13 hours. That's the vibe I want you guys to have. That's the vibe I want the unit to be like. They shoot the shit. They have a good time. When it comes time to be serious, they're all serious. They know how to operate. They know each other's next moves. They're personal with each other, but also professional with each other. That is exactly my cup of tea.
Shit. All right. I think that's the first time I've heard that title. But yeah. All right. That's a good
13 hours, really?
Yeah, I think on the
check it out, man.
There might have been
the
one
Benghazi?
Other leader who
you never heard of the
Yeah.
Benghazi?
Oh no, I know about it, but I'm just saying
Okay.
in terms of guests on here on the podcast here.
Oh.
Which ones, which movie titles, like Generation
I can list
Kill.
Off Lone Survivor and Generation Kill. And,
there's so many
What's
nowadays
that new
in
one?
the last generation.
Warface, was it?
Oh, shit. I know what you're talking.
That was a great movie. It was a really great movie.
There's a lot of good ones now, and more coming out. But yeah, that's 13 hours. That's a good one.
Hero?
All right. So, yeah, I was going to say, what
I
else
agree
you
with
got?
I agree with that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we discussed it before this, and no, that one 100% I think describes us.
Solid. All right. So I got to ask, like I mentioned, I got a background in Arma 3, very limited time on Reforger, relatively speaking. I'm still learning the ropes, still learning how to shoot and scoot, let alone communicate. I got to ask you guys, when you're in game, I mean, it could be like a memorable operation, what your kind of day-to-day carry is, your EDC that is. What is your go-to loadout in game? It's like, what kit do you need to have?
Um, Generally speaking, we wear AOR1 gear. Um,
A lot of it's mission based
Depending on,
or map based.
yeah,
Hmm.
map based. Yeah. AOR1, AOR2. Um, and then as far as weapons go, we are pretty lenient as far as that goes. If somebody wants to run an MG, they can run an MG. Um,
Oh, I wouldn't
yes,
say that.
we make sure we have a AT on the team, things like that. But generally just a rifle. Um, I personally like the Novesk chainsaw. Um, but a lot of our other guys like the M4 platforms and such.
Hmm.
Um, and then we do real land navigation, so a map and a compass is required. We don't run any mods that show you where your location is, where your squad location is, anything like that.
Mhm.
Um,
Stamina, weight, all off.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we keep that on, or we keep it to where it's
Um,
still there.
we run 8th medical, so we require all of our guys to at least have the stuff to um, stabilize somebody if they go down. So, we require everybody to have about 6 bandages, couple tourniquets, some morphines, um, and then everybody needs to carry, everybody needs to carry smokes. Everybody needs to carry, um, I mean, ammo. Usually use about 10 magazines per op, um, just to be safe. We have ran out before, um, and just had to play it by ear. A lot of us picked up guns off the ground and started shooting at people because we were just out of ammo. It was a lot of fun.
Hmm.
Um, but we do pride ourselves on being sure that we're prepared for anything.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you guys are staying more on the realism side, in terms of the kind of like land nav limitations and stuff like that. It's easy with all the mods out there to, if you want to call it cheating, if you want to call it kind of stretching the rules or just simplifying it, it's easy to take that route. But you guys are, again, tactically, not only in your movements and your kind of operational structures, but also with your on the ground soldiering, you guys are taking that more realistic approach. That's what it seems like.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah, made a
we have
huge
to
shift.
take tack stops and check the map and everything in the middle of ops. Um, yeah, it really feels like we're in it.
Good stuff. So definitely, we've covered a lot, taken a very deep dive into Spartans and what you guys have accomplished, in your time as a unit here. Again, we'll have those links below, but and definitely people take a look. We have a lot of great units, and I'm always highlighting the kind of ups. Definitely, we sometimes we take a look into the bads. We were talking about the kind of positives and negatives earlier in your discussions here in game and after, but it's just that's what we call keeping it real. So I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys and what you have in Spartan Team Six here, at that next level. But I got to ask, what about your experience with Milsim units? You're tier one unit. You have subscribed to the platform and gained access to various resources and benefits that we're trying to provide people again to get them out there to get eyes on their units and to bring people into the fold. And I'm always asking, what's good, what's bad. what could we do better in terms of, supporting your operations and just, developing the community as a whole?
I really don't know what more you guys could do. You guys already do enough for all of us. I'm just glad that you guys have made it a community, and a community that's stuck around to, you know, us leaders and us, teams that are trying to find more than just what we have. Um, you know, just not a lot. I don't even think that there's maybe another group like you out there. I don't
Yeah,
see
there's a
them.
couple of websites, but not much of a, not much, no
Nothing that
hubs,
I've
no
heard.
real communities. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So you guys are killing it. You guys are doing a great job. Um, and definitely looking forward to what more ops you guys bring. Definitely looking forward to um, conversing more with you guys. I talk to LaFlash a little bit from time to time. Um, and yeah, just really appreciate the opportunity you've given us to come on here, and appreciate, almost I would say almost all of our members come from your guys' website.
Mm.
That's actually a question within our application is, hey, where'd you come from? And how'd you hear about us, really? And about 90% of them is Milsim units. So you guys are killing it. You guys are killing it for us too. So
And
we appreciate it.
yeah, I appreciate that. It's always good to get that positive feedback, but that's the thing. We want to hear it all, so that way that you can keep the good and kind of hone the duller edges that need a little bit more improvement. But definitely, I mean, that's the thing. Well, Flash is a good guy. I've known him for years. I've operated with him, for a good long time. We worked together, that whole while. So I know he's into it. For the community, for the people, to have a good time, to make sure that. We are just getting more than an upvote on a website, that we are getting connections. We're developing relationships and developing a true community, virtual or otherwise for that matter. So anything we can do, let us know. Any improvements that you see need to be made, drop us a support ticket so we can get on it. But definitely, we're going to keep the collaborations going. Again, bringing these units together, bringing you and others like you, into the same battle space, so that we can have a good time and look good doing it. I love it. It's like one of the things I love is the fireworks. I love the cinematic moments where everything is just cooking off and you got explosions everywhere and tracers zipping back and forth.
Oh yeah.
When you guys got a gun, they're running and gunning and screaming through all that kind of crap. There's really nothing quite like it, at least not online. So definitely looking forward
Spartan
to.
does.
Well, I was gonna say,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, looking forward to getting more of those opportunities in the future, with you guys on board with us. But yeah, go ahead, please.
Spartan does a really good job. You're talking about the theatrics and stuff. Spartan really enjoys photography, and he gets those cinematic clips, the
Yeah,
screenshots,
yeah.
um, and they just look amazing. They really highlight the mission and things, and it really makes it
Even when
feel
it
like,
looks
yeah,
bad,
I
I
was
make it
in
look
that
good.
moment. You're
Well,
like,
that's what I
yeah,
was talking
that
about
was
earlier
me in
with
that
some of those
moment.
screenshots. Oh yeah, when you get caught, yeah, it's like you're on the front page. You're
Yeah,
caught in
exactly.
the archives. Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. That sounds like a good time when you when you get caught in those cinematic moments, man. It is something special. No game quite like it.
I would say the only other game that has really, really showed up, and I've been there since day one, is Hell Let Loose, man. You get bombed
Mm,
by one of
yep.
those artillery strikes or something. That game's wild.
Yeah, it has definitely exploded. Yeah, I was in the back of my mind. I was like, all right, don't say that word. Pick another word. And I was like, nah, it's really exploded. But yeah, my point rests. If you haven't played it, check the videos out there. There's been a hell of a lot of streams lately, so a lot of good
Oh yeah.
stuff going on. So yeah, good stuff. Yeah, inside and out, went top to bottom here, getting to know you guys and everything you're operating together, with and as a armor forger unit. I got to ask, with all the stuff that we've discussed, over the past hour or so, is there anything we haven't touched on? Is there anything that you guys want people to know about Spartans that we haven't addressed yet?
I really can't think of anything. We've come such a long
Um,
way.
I I will bring up a point about our ops. And we use this term a lot, me and Spartan, and our squad leads. We do our best to keep the veil pulled over our guys' eyes. Like, we know, all of us know, we're grown ass men pretending to be military in a video game, and that's fine. We all enjoy it, right? But we try to keep the feel of it being real there, and we do that by informing, you know, our squad leads, hey, this is gonna happen. Be ready for that to happen. Don't like freak out when it happens. Just know it's coming and be ready to deal with that problem when it comes. And that keeps them informed, and that keeps our operations running smoothly. And it never feels like we're just like, hey GM, can you do this for us? No, it's all talked about beforehand. We have set radio channels to talk to command and such, so it doesn't break that immersion for people.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
So
if you guys
yeah,
have been,
you're focusing on that GMing aspect. You know, you've got to kind of pre-plan to a degree with some kind of like decision points along the way, but you're focused on having a smooth operation from start to finish. That's what I'm getting out of that.
yeah, and failure is okay. I like when the guys fail; they learn the lesson, and like I said,
True
failure
though.
makes more memories than the good missions. It's
Yeah,
crazy
it
how
does.
that
It
sounds.
does.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Is what it is.
Yep.
Well, that's good stuff. Well, I'd like to get some images up. You know, we always publish our podcast on YouTube with some some eye candy in the background give people a little bit eyes on what to expect. But also, again, we'll have those links to your social media in the description below. But let's say they're interested. They like what they see. You know, they hear a lot of potential in their own kind of gameplay going forward, whether they're new or experienced. What's the best way to get involved and to get started with Spartan Team 6?
Oh, it'd just be
Oh,
getting on milsimunits.com. We're usually at the top 5 at least. The
Yep,
guys are
yep,
always voting.
do that. It's true. Yeah, click on the link. You see their profile page there. Would you say the Discord is the best way to get that line of communications open?
Discord, X. I know we're on X. That's really it. YouTube. We've had guys come from our YouTube.
Gotcha. All right, so people's
Yeah.
got some options here. All
Yeah.
right. I like that's the chill sim part of it then, not having to fill out some
Well, there is an
3
application.
page form.
Yeah, there's a 10 question questionnaire, and then we do intake. It's mainly just kind of go over how we operate, how the Discord is. We also kind of try to get a feel for the people, and we can kind of tell who's in it and who's not.
Gotcha. Yeah.
our applications are less so applications and more so getting to know the person.
Yeah.
Like what got you into Milsims, things like that. Just to get a feel for the person themselves, and then we talk to them, explain our Discord, like Plague was saying, and get an actual personal feel for them, talking with them while we're doing that.
Gotcha. All right. Building it up from the get-go. Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. So if you're interested, definitely take a look. If nothing else, check the screenshots and see what kind of, like flyer and trailer material that they got going there. Because I was definitely impressed. I always like to see, these units coming and putting together a good media presence, so we can get a little bit better understanding what they got going on. With this podcast, I hope we fill in a lot more of those gaps and give you an understanding of what Spartan's team is doing in Reforger, and what they're going to take with them as they go forward into the months and years ahead. So Spartan Hero, it's been a pleasure. Definitely, this has been a good one. I
Yeah. Thanks,
appreciate
man.
you joining on. Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to keeping those comms open. Yeah, we'll have December, like I said, will be here before you know it. So
Yeah.
definitely, we'll have some more discussions ahead, and definitely some trigger time as the months unfold.
Yeah. Thanks for having us. We can't wait to see you there, and yeah, we'll stay in contact for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, seriously, and let us know anything we can do. We're here. Again, we just want to have a good time and bring out the best like everyone else. So appreciate
Yeah.
it, gentlemen.
Yeah. Thanks.
Really appreciate what you guys do.
Sure thing. All right. Well,
Bye,
this
man.
has been a good one, ladies and gents. definitely, we're always working and get some pieces put together behind the scenes so we can keep the discussions going here. Looking forward to the next one. So we'll always be keeping it here and letting you know what we got, in the community and in the future. So until next time, this is Seabrock signing off. All right, it's a clean cut.
Yeah. Thanks,
Nice.
man. Do it
Yeah,
for a living.
that was a good one. I just well, that's what people. Yeah, it's like, you got a great radio voice. Yeah, I wish I got paid like that. But maybe one of
right.
these days I'll retire and I'll be a professional podcaster. I'll have to upgrade the studio. But no, all seriousness, that was a good one. We were just over an hour. Really great point. We hit like all the points. Really clear audio. Like no gaps, no stutters. That was a really clean cut.
Yeah, I thought it went really well.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah,
try not
I
to
like the
rant on.
format.
what's that?
Try to prevent the ranting on.
Hey, that's what it's all about. I mean, seriously, just I won't say like stream of consciousness kind of thing, but just getting people the opportunity to know you personally. It's like it's one thing to hear a voice over the radio on a recording or a stream, but it's another thing to hear where people are coming from. Like, what kind of, it's like, I don't want to say what makes you tick, but what your thinking is
Yeah.
behind Milsim, because that's the thing, we're all coming from different angles, but we all end up in the center here somehow. So it's interesting to see how those connections come about.
Definitely. It's from like your aspect, interviewing all these people and then just like seeing everybody's points, that'd be really interesting to see. I think that's where the podcast comes in really nicely. You can see other people and other leaders' thought process and how they operate, and definitely taking some insight from, that's actually is a good idea, or we should try that. Everybody has different
that's what
ideas.
we're hoping for.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. You keep what you got, that's good, but if you see something that you can use, definitely. I mean, it's like none of this is copyrighted or trademarked. We're just doing this for fun.
We're all winging it.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, true that. No kidding.
All right,
Good
man.
shit.
Well, we appreciate you taking out the time for us. Means a lot.
Most definitely. So, yeah. I was just gonna say,
Is this podcast found on anywhere besides your guys' website?
no, it's just going to be on. Of course, there's a link on the website, but it'll be on our YouTube channel, on our podcast playlist. What I'm going to do is I'll cut the clip the audio here tonight, and then I'll start putting together the video and getting everything squared away so I can get it uploaded. I'm hoping we'll get it. Hopefully in 24 hours we'll have it uploaded. If not, 48. I definitely want to put a priority on this one, since. So, I know we were kind of going back and forth there, and I'm glad we were able to get it squared away so quickly.
I was more interested. I'm
right,
kind of
everybody, I'm
wondering
gonna
if
hop
you guys
off.
are ever wanting
We're
to
doing
go
some
official
personal
and
talk
have
here.
like, the
Appreciate
podcast